Sir, thanks a lot for talking to us. Talking about the results, it has beaten the street expectations. Everybody was expecting a huge drop in PAT, but that has not happened. What were the reasons behind it?
Well, basically, we have managed the cost quite well. Also helped by the fact that the commodity prices were very benign during this quarter. In fact, they went down a little bit. And combining all of these factors and not going very aggressive on discounting, all combined, we did manage to get a very good result in terms of PBIT or the percentage margin was quite reasonable. In fact, this quarter we had almost our highest profit margin that we have had in the last 13 quarters.
Talking about the road ahead, Doctor, we have equipped with the new launches which are coming in. Even in tractors, the monsoons are looking good. How do you see now the growth upwards? Now you think that the worst is over for November?
Well, first of all, let me say that as far as tractor industry is concerned, the degrowth that we saw in the first quarter was something that we had anticipated, that we would see that because it was on a very high base of last quarter. We probably will see a degrowth in second quarter also, but we expect a third and fourth quarter growth to make up for the losses and end up at about 5% growth. We do expect that Mahindra will keep pace with the industry and we would grow about the same, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, but about the same as the industry growth will be. As far as automotive is concerned, UVs are currently somewhat under pressure. The growth that you see in passenger vehicles is coming more from passenger cars, but there are many new UV launches that have happened. Two have already been launched. TUV 300 will be launched soon, and therefore we do expect that UV segment will pick up, and Mahindra with two brand new platforms being launched in UV segment should see a good volume potential.
So, talking about the rural demand, what's the status there? Are the fears of monsoon out, or are they still there? And how do you see the rural demand going ahead?
Well, the monsoon has been better than what was expected at the beginning of the year, but I would say that they're somewhat deficient. I don't think that's going to have a big negative impact on the overall harvest this year, provided, of course, that August does not disappoint us in terms of rains. Therefore, I would expect that after harvest, post-harvest, rural demand should pick up, and therefore I would expect a reasonably good festive season in terms of demand from rural area.
Talking about the festive season itself, sir, from last year, how do you see the festive season going? Do you think it will be a growth Y on Y in the festive season this time?
Well, it's too early, and unfortunately, since this time the festive season is coming late, you cannot compare September to September and October to October. You have to look at festive season as a whole, and I see no reason right now why the festive season should not be at least as good as it was last year, if not a little better.
Lastly, sir, talking about the government spendings, how do you see that panning on? Do you think that the government needs to put now more focus on really putting their words into action? And also GST is something which is a very important aspect here. How important do you think GST is, and do you think GST should be implemented in the way it is at this point of time?
Well, let me reiterate that as far as the industry is concerned, specifically automotive industry, GST is very, very critical for the growth that we're looking going forward, and therefore having GST implementation from 1st April 2016 is something that's very important to us. Obviously, we are disappointed that right now the Parliament session is not able to take up the GST bill, and as a result of that, if it is not passed in monsoon bill, I'm afraid that they may not be able to implement it by 1st April 2016, and that certainly is not good for the industry and overall Indian economy, because all the experts tell you that GST by itself will at least increase our GDP by 1 percentage point. So that's a very big disadvantage that we will have if the GST is not implemented by 1st April. And I hope that Parliament is able to debate the GST bill and pass the GST bill in this session.
Talking about the other government programs.
There are a lot of projects that are being talked about. The investment is coming in, perhaps somewhat slowly, and I would hope that pretty soon it should pick up, especially after good monsoon and good sort of agriculture output should help the government to start putting on ground the schemes that they have been talking about. And therefore, I would overall expect a good second half coming from the government spending as well as from the rural demand, and that should start around the festive season.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.